hearts alight with giving glow, side by side through highs and lows. Together find a way to show love that only grows. Me and Betty's guiding star shines on missions near and far, helping hands like we were one till the day is done. Spread love's light through the night, Mission 22 in sight, hearts burning bright. Wreaths across the winter snow, each a promise we bestow, honoring those who let us know freedom seed we sow. In the shadows be the spark, light a fire in the dark. With one voice we'll make our mark, together we'll embark. Through the valleys we unite, every step a gleaming light. With the Johnsons guiding sight, we make the world right.
JJDrones, they take the load, winging it with friends in tow. Life on the screen, you watch the show. Laughs and chatter in the air, nothing to hide, nowhere rare. Live stream fire, join the flare, adventures wild without a care. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. Tech and travel, flying high. Questions answered, never dry. Drones and gadgets touch the sky. All the news, no alibi. Underneath the digital sun, friends and fun, they are the one. Learning's cool with a twist of fun. Hit subscribe, the ride begun. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. She said media brings the answers. Droning veteran shows disasters. TJ and Gary make us laugh, while the train wreck clears the path. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. Join the team, feel the faith.
I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road.
I'm Karl Marx, and I approve this message.
I guess it helps if you have it off mute.
You're good, brother. Hello, everybody. You're watching the JJDrones show. We're going to talk about a few things tonight. One is a horrific accident. And then right now you're probably looking at my title, DOBFE. That would be the Director of Blinker Fluid Enforcement. And I'm here to serve Mr. Daniel Mabey with papers because he recently did a video where he was operating a side-by-side little thing, you know, ATV type deal. JJDrones appears to be a passenger, and he not at one point in time did he ever use his blinkers. So you've been served. You have 30 days to appear before the blinker fluid judge. Mr. Jason Johnson, you may take it. Still can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. 5 by 5.
Okay. All right. There we go. We have everything back to normal again. Sorry, everybody, for the, well, welcome to the train wreck, right? Thank you, Gary, for filling in for a minute. We also have another couple special guests. You know him. He's probably drunk on some sort of alcoholic beverage right now. And,
Dan Mabey. I bet that Dan Mabey. I guarantee.
Yeah, that would be Mr.
Who, me? Never.
And coming to us from... Well, and then coming to us from some undisclosed location after his trip around the world for his modeling career, let's welcome back to the show, Mr. Karl Marx.
How's it going?
Why are you
Ted,
trying to
thank you
hide
so-
the star of the show? Huh, Carl?
What?
Huh? You're hiding the star of the show right there.
How's it going, Ted? Thank you so much for coming in. And thank you, Dave, for being here. Also, TJ Giggles FPV. I saw you in here earlier. Appreciate you being here as well. And Gary, you have something to say.
Yes, I do. I'm so blessed to be in the presence of Mr. GQ, Karl Marx. Thank you for bestowing this honor upon us. Thank you.
It's good to be back.
Hey, Mom, thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And then I tried to get that information over to Dad so that he can put the YouTube on the TV. They're having an ice storm up there in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so nobody's been able to go anywhere. So if you're in the UP and Ted, can you hear me or no? Because now he's saying can't hear you guys.
I hear you loud and clear, personally.
All right, he's going to go out and come back in. So hopefully we can get this all straightened out.
Everything was good till I came in.
He has problems when he gets to that lake cabin, so he may be at the lake cabin. So if that's the case, then he always has problems out there.
Kathy says that she can hear us. Thank you so much for being here, Kathy. And, well, because of, okay, and then my dad's here, and apparently he can hear us. So, see, you go 1 week without doing a live stream, and everything is all messed up. So that is a lesson to everybody. Don't go a week without doing a live stream. And then the train wreck won't be as real as it usually is. But before we go anywhere, we're going to say a huge thank you for our unofficial sponsor of the JJDrones program, Johnson Juice.
Folks up north, they know the score. Johnson's Juice, you'll crave some more. From sugar and shacks to your front door. A Michigan treasure, rich and pure. Johnson's Juice, poured thick and sweet from the Upper Peninsula, can't be beat. Pancakes, waffles, biscuits too. Nothing tastes better, all thanks to you. Nothing tastes better, all thanks to you.
Thank you, Johnson Juice.
Super yummy.
Well, and in honor of our special guest Karl Marx being here today, we have our very special flavor of pink bubblegum blinker fluid of the week. So let's get into it.
Lines, backing up takes them 5 tries. Wrong way down a one-way street. Did you get your license from a tweet? Who's a blaring all the week? Still they drive on like a clown. Stop sign means just slow down. Congrats, you've earned our weekly crown. Oh, dude. Welcome to the Low Search series on YouTube. Just don't ask anyone. That way you won't be disappointed. Always keep your head on a swivel. We have red light runners. We have those crazy drivers. Every now and then we even have crashes. So buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Blinker fluid of the week.
And it's blinker fluid of the week. Here's number 1.
Numero uno.
And you can vote for your favorite in the chat.
Oh, look at that Tesla.
This is over there in Thule.
The self-driving Tesla right there.
Oh, that's expert level. That's expert level. And here's number 2.
Oh, look at the sandwich. I can put right in there.
Hey, Dan, you should stop at D's after you film that. Number 3.
You see it?
I think they might have gotten a little bit of road rash there.
A little bit. It's a new ventilator technique.
And number 4. Wow, that guy was in a hurry. He had to have been going he had to probably go home and, take a number 2. Number 5. Wow. I mean, he's keeping up with traffic.
Yeah, I was behind him because I wanted to stay far enough behind him. I just have to keep up. I was like, that man right here. I've never seen a scooter do this fast. 49 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't think that that's legal at all, but we will go to our legal expert here shortly.
Yes. And then you almost get squished.
Well, he didn't use his turn signals.
Actually, he did, I think.
Did he?
Yes, he has little ones. They're like teeny tiny. You have to be right up
Oh,
next to them
okay.
to see them.
Well, you can vote for your favorite in the chat. Obviously, I know my favorite is obviously the scooter. But I wouldn't tell anybody that because that would be swaying the audience.
Yes, you can't do that.
No, absolutely not. And we already have our first vote for number 5, and that wasn't because I swayed the audience.
No, definitely
Gary.
Can Daniel please put me down as number 5 as well, even though you swayed me, JJ? I appreciate that. Seriously, with the phone thing, I don't know how to do this. I might disconnect. So Daniel, please put me down as number 5.
I got you.
Hey, Mr. Daniel, maybe you've been served by the blinker fluid enforcement.
I plead the blinkers. I plead the blinkers.
So, Mr. Karl Marx, you are going to be our legal expert. What say you as far as the last part of that video?
That was interesting. I've never seen a scooter go that fast, but I'd almost say maybe it is legal if he's got all the blinkers and the brakes.
I mean, you really can't see unless you're right up next to him. You can't see the blinkers. But he turned left at the next light, and so I was looking at him, and I'm like, "Oh, damn, he's got blinkers."
Yeah, I mean, he's maintaining speed.
You guys are missing. You guys are missing the most important part.
Did he have a helmet?
Nope.
He had a helmet.
He had a helmet, but that's not it.
And he even had a safety vest.
Yes, he did have a safety vest.
He did not have a PT belt though, and we in the Army, you need a PT belt.
Did he have a license plate on it, Dan?
No license plate.
No license plate, no drivey on the roadie.
Bring it up fast.
Because you can pretty much, I mean, you can have the side-by-sides or whatever, but if it's not licensed, you're not supposed to be riding it on roads in certain states. Obviously, look at the laws in your states and make sure you know where you can drive it. But I don't think the scooter would be legal because, number one, it's not registered, and number two, it's not plated, and number three, there's no insurance.
Invisible plates.
Oh, gotcha.
I got some
Was the
invisible
plate in a
straps
different
coming up.
location?
What's that, Carl?
Was the plate smaller in a different location?
That would be a good question for the police to ask them when they pull the guy over and say, "Is this registered, insured?" I don't think there's going to be any sort of liability or collision on that thing. So I'm going to have to say that the guy is probably in the wrong there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not legal.
Yeah. Very important question. Carl, are you drinking Johnson juice?
No.
Okay.
Slacking.
Uh-huh. Yep. No. I think he's out of Johnson juice, actually. And we're going to have to send him some more.
Right.
In fact, I have bottles to ship out. I just need time to do it for certain people that are special. And,
Carl's probably switched over to the Jefferson juice by now.
When he goes off and does these whirlwind tours, you just never know what he's going to come back, drinking. But I do want to start off. We're going to be going over the report from the Green River, Wyoming crash, and I wanted to have Carl on because I'm not sure. Have you known about this accident over there in Green River, Wyoming, around Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I did hear about it. I saw pictures. You and I talked about it on the phone a couple times.
Okay.
So I'm not, I guess, much involved. I know I read a little bit of the report and some of the speculation that happened, the day of, but I'm not as knowledgeable of the accident as the four of you are probably.
So I do need to make a correction from the last two live streams. I did make a comment that the speed limit going into the tunnel at the time of the accident, it was 35. And according to report, it was 55 miles an hour. I still don't think that anybody should have been going 55 or 65 or any speed over 35. But the correct speed limit at that time was 55 miles an hour. So my statement during those last two live streams where I said it was 35, I got that from a picture that was posted after the accident, and so that was my fault. I like to lead with my mistakes, so that was a mistake on my part. So I do apologize, and I just want to correct the record that the speed limit going into the tunnel was 55 miles an hour.
But is that the actual speed limit? Because I read is the speed limit actually 65, but because of the snow, it was downgraded to 55?
Correct. They have variable speed limits going into that tunnel.
Right.
And normally during a regular, every average ordinary day, it's down to 65 miles an hour. But because of the weather, they downgraded the speed to 55. Then after the accident, then they actually downgraded the speed again to 35, even though nobody was going anywhere, obviously. So here is a little bit of information just for Carl's sake, because we have done this a little bit. And let's see here. Here is the video of the driver when he's coming up to the tunnel. And here is, I don't know why it's doing that. So he comes into the tunnel, sees the car there.
We don't see anything yet, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, good. That's probably why it's not working the way I want it to then.
Okay, just wanted to let you know. Sorry.
No, thank you for telling me.
Choo-choo, crash.
All right, so here's the video of the driver. Now, I was very curious because of the fact that this driver doesn't have his speed up on the thing from a dash cam like it normally has it. Now, the guy just passed two people, and then he comes up here, loses control, crashes into the wall. And then he's wedged in between that truck and the wall, so he basically has to kick out his window.
Right.
Yeah, and we both
Wow.
said that he was doing more than 35, but that was when we thought the speed limit was actually 35.
Right. And he was actually upshifting while he was going into the tunnel. And that was something that I had a lot of emphasis on. Now, he could have been doing 55. We have no way of knowing because the speed that he was going is not posted on the dash cam video. And I'm sure that's something that'll come up in future reports. But in the event that he was doing the speed limit, you know, that's important. You know, especially you have to know how fast everybody's going at, obviously. Hey, Ken, thank you very much for coming in. But here is the report. If I can get that to come up. All right.
Yeah, did they say anybody was actually speeding? Sorry to interrupt the video.
No. In this preliminary report, nobody has been cited for anything.
Right. Yeah, I just went through a little bit of the timeline, you know, a couple of days ago, or the other day, excuse me, when you know, talked about, you know, the pickup truck that caused it, you know, spun out basically. That was in the left lane and then went to the right lane and blocked it. I mean, I might be discussing your video, so I'll let you play it though.
Well, no, this isn't even a video. This is we're going to go through the report little bit of time here.
Oh, okay.
It says on Friday, February 14th, 2025, about 11:33 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, we're getting into the late morning, early afternoon time. A 2006 Toyota Tundra pickup truck was, I don't know why they have to put Toyota in parentheses here, was traveling west in the left lane through a tunnel on Interstate 80 near Green River, Sweetwater County, Wyoming. At this location, I-80 is divided 4-lane concrete roadway consisting of two approximately 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction of travel. Okay, so here is what we're actually looking at. Now, the Toyota that they're talking about that spun out, I'm assuming is right over here on the very left-hand side. It's kind of further up into the side of the road. It's either that, or if you look on the right-hand side of the picture, it could be the two trucks with the car in between it. But I don't think so. I think the most likely truck that started all this is the one that's further up on the left-hand side.
Very possible.
So it says here that the variable speed limit, including inside the tunnel, was set at 55 miles per hour, having been reduced from 65 miles per hour the night before due to the weather. Snow had fallen earlier in the day, and although the weather was clear, the roadway was wet with possible ice and slush forming near the tunnel exit. Now, Carl, in your experience as a truck driver, you probably agree with what Dan and I said, that when you get into a situation like this, that you would technically slow down, especially going through a tunnel, because you know to expect ice to form.
Right.
Let's see here. Hey, Drew, thank you very much for coming in. And Dad says this is why we have courts in our judicial system. Yes, that's absolutely true. Let's see here. As the Toyota exited the tunnel, it spun to the left, struck a metal guardrail, continued traveling west, and came to rest about 150 feet from the westbound tunnel exit, where it blocked the right lane and a portion of the left lane. So following this crash, the driver of a westbound 2024 Peterbilt with a trailer, also traveling in the left lane, tried to avoid the stopped Toyota and struck the left side of the tunnel. After impacting the tunnel, the Peterbilt driver regained control, avoided impact with the Toyota, and stopped on the right shoulder of about 450 feet west of the tunnel exit. So let's see where we're looking at here. Go back to our picture. So if you look in the picture on the right, the Peterbilt has to be one of those blue trucks. Carl, would you agree with that?
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking for the Jeep involved also. And
Okay. So the Jeep involved is the one that's in front of the red truck there.
okay, yeah, because I'm looking at my phone, so I got the smaller screen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
'Cause
So
I remember reading, about the Peterbilt and then the Volvo tractor along with the Jeep.
So westbound 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee was traveling in the left lane of the tunnel when its driver observed the stopped Toyota and applied the brakes. The Jeep began to spin, impacted the metal guardrail and curb near the tunnel exit, continued on a northwest trajectory across both travel lanes, and came to rest against the hillside beyond the right shoulder. So I'm thinking that that's what, if you look on the picture on the left-hand side, the black vehicle that's sitting in front of the red Volvo, that's in front there. Moments later, a 2020 Volvo truck goes into a lot of specifics, but he was traveling west through the tunnel in the right lane. The Volvo driver braked in response to the stopped Toyota, which caused the combination vehicle to jackknife inside the tunnel and block the left and right lanes about 200 feet before the tunnel exit. Okay, so here's a problem that I have with the report is it goes into the trucks that are in the tunnel, but we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 trucks outside the tunnel here that were still involved in this crash, and they aren't even mentioned in this accident report. Not sure why. Carl, would you have any idea why?
I guess the only thing I can maybe assume is that still being investigated, so they don't want to bring out any details of those vehicles yet.
Right. Yeah, Ken, speed is definitely one of the main causes of the accident. Absolutely is going to be part of the main causes. But I'm going to go back to this picture here in a moment. But what I want to do is I want to pull up from the live stream that we did a couple weeks ago. And okay, so first of all, I need to slow this down because this guy really moves his camera quick. So you got that truck there, right? All right, so I need to be able to pause this. And I'm going to turn off the volume because I don't need to hear myself talk. All right, so right there is that Jeep that they're talking about that spun out in front of the tunnel. And then you've got the Volvo that is right behind him that actually came to a stop. So that guy's going to be okay as far as his speed was, right? And then if we go a little bit further, you've got this truck here that not only did he crash in behind the Volvo that's in front of him, but his trailer snapped in half. And my assumption was that the Jeep that was in front of those trucks was the one that caused the wreck, but Brian actually made a very important point because he could actually see in the video right here that there were other vehicles further ahead. So Brian was right on that, and I was incorrect. So good job, Brian. If you're watching, you had that labeled right all the way from the beginning. But
Brian,
let's go back to the accident report. So inside the tunnel, let's see here. After the Volvo jackknifed inside the tunnel, a 2012 Dodge Ram pickup traveling in the left lane and occupied by 4 people struck the Volvo truck. At the same time, a 2019 Freightliner traveling in the right lane steered into the left lane where it struck the tunnel wall and collided with overrode the Dodge. The entangled Freightliner and Dodge continued traveling west, re-impacting the Volvo's truck trailer, exited the tunnel, struck the Toyota, and came to rest after striking the rear of the Peterbilt. Following these collisions, several other vehicles collided inside the tunnel, and a post-fire crash ensued. As a result of the collisions, 2 of the Dodge occupants were fatally injured. The driver of a truck combination vehicle inside the tunnel was trapped inside the vehicle and died the post-fire crash. 20 other vehicle occupants sustained injuries of varying degrees. So that is the full report. And you can actually see here the fire coming out of the tunnel. But, this truck over here on the very far left is what started it. And if he's spinning out, he's obviously going too fast for conditions. And then you've got other vehicles that are going too fast for conditions. So I would venture to guess this would be what would be called a preventable accident. And it's sad because, you know, this was just something that all people had to do was slow down. Carl, you're out there on the roads all the time. What has been your experience in bad weather driving?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of four-wheelers out there that are excessive when it comes to speed. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of commercial vehicles out there that I think are pretty egregious with a lot of their thinking while driving. You know, they're being hazardous in a lot of ways also. Obviously not knowing, not being involved in the accident or anything, but it's unfortunate. And, you know, 3 people passed away, because of it. Now, I don't know if, because this was a fatal accident, how many drivers having the CDL had to go get drug tested now, had to have their travels delayed even more. Even the people that were, stopped, but then they got hit from behind. I don't know what's all involved with all that as far as, being involved in essentially a fatal accident. You know that a lot of the people are going to go after the trucking companies. They're going to automatically say it's their fault.
Absolutely.
So I have some concerns about that. But I mean, we talked before. For years how people really need to slow down. I mean, there's even times where I'm just cruising along, and the next thing you know, I'm in a whiteout condition, and I didn't want to slam on the brakes, but I slowed down, to where I should be. I mean, experience does go a long way, but I think just with everything, they're in a hurry, and lack of awareness and lack of caring about other people around them has it's gotten bigger, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And what can you do? All we can do is just talk about it. Hopefully somebody sees it, talk about it on the phone, get somebody else involved, pass the word along. I mean, you can read all day. Like I tell our safety manager, you can read all day about how to drive safe. Doing it's another thing, though.
Right.
But even some of the most experienced drivers, they think, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that. I've been driving 30 years." Well, that's not the case. Weather doesn't care how much experience you have. And something like this should have never have happened. Any accident, for that matter.
Right. Well, and I think Ken brings up a really good, important point too, with dust storms, because people don't really think about it, especially out east. But when you travel out west, you run into dust storms a lot, and during those dust storms, you have to slow down because you can't see. I mean, it's just like fog; you can't see in front of your face. Yes, Gary.
A couple questions, if you don't mind. One, I think in a previous video you said the length of the tunnel. What was the length of the tunnel, please?
Let me pull that up again. I don't want to misspeak. Length of the green.
I feel like it was a short distance, like less than a half mile.
Yeah, it's not long. It is 1,138 feet. So it's not even a mile long.
Right, so I think a mile is like 26.35 or something like that, right? So it's less than a half mile, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would say it's
So-
more like a quarter mile.
okay. So let me ask you this, not being as familiar with the other guys on the panel, but when you apply your air brakes on a rate, does it pulsate or does it lock up, or at what point would it lock up, or can you explain that a little bit?
We'll go to our expert, Carl.
So on wet pavement, you're asking?
I'm curious about any condition. How would the brakes, the trailer brakes operate? How does that work?
Well, I mean, if you stab brake, at some point, yeah, it'll lock up. The trailer's gonna start jackknifing, and this is on dry roads. I've never really had a pulsating from the pedal, but the weight, the trailer, that's gonna push you. And then if you do the, pump it a few times, you can gain a little bit more control, and that'll help. But again, you're talking reaction time, you're talking speed, weather. I mean, there's different things. But the best thing, and I guess it's hard for me to explain because I never put myself in that position.
Right.
That's the best thing you can do. But getting cut off, it's stepping on your brake pedal. It's no different than in a car or or a motorcycle. You hit that brake and you'll slow down quickly, but it's all what's around you and what you're doing. And again, the weather and stuff like that.
I think every trailer now and every truck now comes with a standard ABS on their vehicles.
Right.
So, go ahead, Dan. What were you going to say?
Trailers.
Oh, you have older trailers, so you don't have ABS on some of yours?
No. Wait, well, we used to. I think all of our trailers have ABS now, but we had a couple that did not.
Okay. So
And I had a couple.
yeah,
just for a
and
quick
the
stop.
ABS is going to work just like the ABS in your car. It's just going to pump the brakes using air versus mechanical. There's no automatic braking systems with the forward-facing radar or new trucks like mine. Okay, so
yes,
there is also automatic. Sorry, Ken, I wrote that wrong. Yeah,
I was so happy my truck does not have that. We have one truck that does, and we have a couple box trucks that have it too. When you're just driving and a car cuts in front of you, and you're like,
it'll slam on your brakes. 100%.
not safe.
Well, and the way that they get around that, Dan, is the only time that works, at least in my truck, is if you're using cruise control.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've never. A couple of the guys have complained about it a lot. I've had it hit the brakes on me a couple of times, but I don't think I was in cruise control.
Okay, well
could've
that's
been.
it. That would be interesting. But when I use cruise or when it's inclement weather, you're not supposed to be using cruise control. So they say if you're using it and you got into a jackknife situation because it slammed on the brakes, you should have been using your cruise control in inclement weather. But let me tell you right now that if it stops you, it stops you. Carl, have you had that honor?
No, I haven't. And I'll be honest, I don't use cruise control. Never have, and I never will. Even on the driest roads, nobody in front of me for 10 miles. I don't use cruise control.
We're gonna have to talk, young man. You're one of those. You're one of those people.
I am.
The non-cruise control using people, where they'll fluctuate between 55 and 57, then 59, and back down to 55.
No,
and
I don't do
53.
that. I don't do that. I just
No, his pedal doesn't metal.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, Drew. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, he just runs that thing right up to right up to the governor and just leaves a foot there.
Right.
Been there, done that.
Yes, he is. Carl is an outlaw. But I mean, a lot of this thing, a lot of it, and you can tell me in the board here, and Ken, you can let me know your thoughts on this. But I've gotten to the point now where I think that drivers that drive in the wintertime have to have some sort of winter driving endorsement on their CDL. Because if you're going to be driving in bad weather in the wintertime and the companies are just putting you out there, it may come to a point in time where they need to have some sort of a winter weather endorsement.
I agree.
Dan?
And there's a lot of drivers that do not know how to put chains on, and then they get sent out west, and they've never seen snow in their life.
Yeah, especially if they come from Cuba.
Mountain passes. Yep.
Gary, as somebody that's not in the trucking industry, what would your thoughts be on something like that?
Well, the way I look at it, it's this. It's like you can have all the endorsements in the world or whatever, but if you don't abide by the endorsements, it's a moot point, right?
No, you're absolutely right, and I'm sure there were people that find workarounds around that.
I mean, there's people that have doubles and triples and never pulled one. See?
Yeah. So like my thing is
I don't have doubles or triples.
Like, are you supposed to wear glasses while you drive? Yeah, maybe. Do you abide by it? A lot of people don't. So it doesn't really get enforced until it's too late. Usually.
No, I don't need to wear glasses when I drive, but I only need to wear glasses so I can read the chat.
Oh yeah.
If not, I'm like.
And Ken has a very valid point too, saying that would create a bunch more BS paperwork and testing. We have enough to do to stay legal, and I can agree with you to that point as well. The only thing that we can do is have people enforcing the rules on the road. And he has all the endorsements except for a darn school bus, and I have all the endorsements except for hazmat and school bus. And I don't have motorcycle either, but I've got doubles, triples, tanker, and I mean, you even have to have a tanker if you're pulling like bulk liquids in a dry van or a reefer. So that's there's enough rules that we have to follow out there on the road, but to have accidents like this is the second time since I started truck driving that we've had an accident like this in the Green River tunnels. So, this is something that could be prevented if we just had people use some common sense.
Well, that's the big thing right there. I mean, I got every license, every endorsement, and I actually use all of it in my motorcycle. I always said, too, like, if you're having, let's say, multiple violations or accidents, like there's some maybe extra testing, or maybe you can call it like an endorsement of some sort, if you're having actual accidents. Or like, I know there's some companies that they can't pull certain combinations at nighttime. So if you're, they can do it during the day, but not at night. Okay. So maybe if there's drivers that are having multiple accidents in the wintertime, well, every winter you got to get retested, or something to the fact of, I don't know, something like you're having 5 accidents and they were all at night. Okay, well, now you got to take, like a night class of some sort. I get all the extra testing. I don't think we should all be subjective to a lot of the extra testing, I get what he's saying, but I think some people that are actually having the issues should be tested. You know, even like I always said, like even with cameras and all that, in the ELDs and all that. If you're getting caught being, defiant with a lot of this stuff or whatever, then you have the cameras, you have the electronic log and all that stuff. And but if you're professional and if you're abiding by everything, why should we all have to do what everybody else does because of their mistakes? That's my problem.
Right. No, I agree with you. And every winter we have to go through online training. Here at Breakbush, we have to go through an online training course about driving during the winter. And it's about a half-hour course that we have to do every single year. But it's just basically giving, the drivers a refresher on, we're going from summer and fall and spring driving into the wintertime and what, basically what to expect. And it's a good refresher course. A lot of people don't like to do it, but, it's something just to put you back into that mindset. Because Dan and Carl, you can both agree or disagree with me, but during your spring, summer, and fall driving is completely different than your driving in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I pull a lot of triples and double 48s and Rocky Mountain doubles on the Indiana-Ohio Turnpike, and I'll have another truck just get past me 1 second in front of me and just decides to come over, and there's nobody even in front of him or her. I mean, there's just, like I said, it's aggravating that even commercial vehicles are doing that to other commercial vehicles, knowing how we have to stop and the crack and whip effect and all that kind of. I mean, there's just so many things, and they just still do it.
Well, I mean, part of it's not their fault. It's the fault of the fact that the curtain was closed on that side.
The curtain was closed and the slides are out. Up on the dash.
Yep. I've seen it, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they drive it from Nebraska all the way out to California, at least.
Oh, yeah, they do it in Utah all the time.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've never seen any of them pulled over for it.
I'm not even flexible enough to put my feet on the dash like that.
That sounds like a personal challenge.
Let's do it. Come on, let's do it.
Who all, show of hands, who wants to see Carl do some flexing and get his foot up on the dashboard?
I have the face.
There we go. The eyes have it, Carl. You are now personally challenged.
Okay, I'll work on that.
And yeah, and we'll even
you gotta have the super
past.
slides on though.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I'm gonna go past all of the standard protocol and go to the triple dog dare you.
Okay.
There you go.
I think at this point you should play his little portion of the intro just to let everybody know.
Oh, wait a second. Here we go.
Let everybody know who Carl Marks is.
I think I have something similar to that. Oh yeah, here.
Hi, I'm Carl Marks. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube. Somebody tell Sadie to shut the hell up. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Put that damn dog in a crate. This is what Carl Marks does when he's not working on RVs at JJDrones. Thank you for watching.
And
We love you.
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
Kansas.
Ken says, I've noticed Kansas has been cracking down on foreigners driving commercial vehicles. Lots of inspections going on. Arkansas as well.
Yeah, Arkansas. I was going to say I've heard a lot about Arkansas. I actually have a future blinker fluid coming up that there was a truck in a straight line, and I was going to make a left turn, and I could tell he was a non-English speaking, and I played it safe and did not proceed. And luckily I did, because he would have taken me out when he made the left turn.
Awful. Yes, Gary.
I'm a little confused there. Did he say Kansas and Arkansas? So aren't they both Kansas?
They kind of are, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So we're getting towards the end of the show. I just want to thank everybody for being here today. The JJDrones website is now basically down and gone. GoDaddy has removed it from their site, so there is no more JJDrones website. But if you would like to purchase anything from Amazon and you still want to contribute to the Amazon links, you can email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com, and let me or send me a link for whatever you're buying from Amazon, and then I will send you back an affiliate link, and then you can still support the program that way. But as of right now, there is no JJDrones website. I don't know when I'll be able to put a website back up. It was too expensive for me at right now, but we'll get a website back up and running again. But it's not going to be anytime within the near future. But another thing is that we had our first board meeting of the new board for the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. And Gary and Dan have both been elected to the board, so congratulations. Gary is going to be our director of public outreach, and Dan is going to be our secretary. And couldn't be
secretary. Dressless.
But you're still wearing clothes, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I don't want to scare everybody off the board. Then I have to do it all by myself. Right.
But I want to thank both of you for taking and accepting the positions, and I really am looking forward to things that's going to be happening this year with the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. But we have our results for our Blinker Fluid of the Week winner, Dan?
Yes, we do.
All right. So our winner for this week's pink bubblegum flavor in honor of Karl Marx being on the show is
number 5.
Number 5. Congratulations, number 5. I really don't think that was legal, but I only think that because of the licensing and the registration and the insurance.
Cinco de Gringo, yes.
And the fact that on a motorcycle you have more protection than on a scooter.
That's probably true. Thank you, Ted, for coming in. Appreciate you being here. So every night or every live stream, we go around the screen and give everybody a chance to give their final words for the show. We'll start with Karl and work our way around.
Oh, man. Wow. Well, I guess as usual, just be careful driving. With the subject of winter time, we're getting in the springtime. Motorcycle season is upon us. So keep a lookout for the motorcycles, and if you're wearing one, make sure you wear that helmet, and just be safe. And driving's supposed to be fun, not a headache.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. Dan.
He fooled you. Yeah, keep an eye on the motorcycles because a lot of times motorcycles don't watch you, and especially the springtime. Because at least where I'm at, I mean, we're like 60 degrees. It was 70 degrees not too long ago. We're supposed to have snow by Tuesday, so be safe.
Gary.
Okay, I hope you don't mind me. I'm going to interject kind of two things. One that's not me personally, but if Brian was here, he's out with the sixth day today, and he'd probably say something eloquent or very serious and sincere. But since he's not here, I'm just going to say, go check out Cheesehead Media and wish him well. And for myself personally, I'm glad to be part of the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. And can I ask a question of the Mr. President?
Go for it.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it earlier, but did you advise the people about Brian's transition?
Oh yeah, Brian was promoted to vice president. I was going to do that the next time that he was on, but absolutely.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, hunting and stuff. And is Gary frozen?
Looks
or
like
is it
it.
Just me? Okay. So, my dad says, Gary, thank you for the jaws. And Ken says, I don't stay behind trucks on my motorcycle. I get on around them. And thank you very much, Hunting and Stuff, for coming in. Appreciate you coming in. I just want to say that, we all have to share the roads out there. And it doesn't matter whether you are part of the driving public, whether you're a professional driver, or even if you're riding around in a scooter, an illegal scooter. You still have to use a little bit of common sense and, don't drive any faster than conditions will allow. There's a whole bunch of facts and figures and numbers that the experts have come out with. You know your vehicle and you know what you can handle. Don't drive any faster than what you feel you can handle, and don't do something crazy and drive so fast because you think that you are just invincible, because you're not. None of us are. And, we lose a bunch of people to accidents that could be prevented. And I think that this Green River accident could have been prevented if people just would have taken their time and not exceeded the speed limit and just realized what they were doing was unsafe. So, just use common sense. And like Carl said, watch for motorcycles. And like Dan said, they don't watch for you. So definitely make sure you're watching out for them.
And not all of them. Not all motorcycles don't watch for you.
No, not all of them. But I mean, I run into so many of them out in California and out on I-80 and I-15 in Utah doing 80 miles an hour. And, sometimes you just got to shake your head and wonder how they survive each and every time they get on one. I just don't understand it sometimes. But just be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And then go check out Karl Marx's photo spread over on GQ. And, let me know what you think of his beautiful photo shoot. Yeah, it's okay, Tony, and Hunting and Stuff. It's all right. I appreciate you guys coming in either way. But it's the end of our program. I appreciate all of you that have come in tonight. And I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with us. And we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, everybody.